I'm Ryan Van Hook. I am married to my wife, Mandy. We've been married for almost 25 years. We've got 3 amazing kids. When I was 12 years old, I started church shopping with my dad. I was looking for a reason to become closer to my biological father, who was like a weekend dad. And so we were out church shopping. We finally found our church, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, and the first meeting we went to was a fast and testimony meeting, and we felt something totally different there that day. So we went on for the next month, bouncing around from church to church to church, and we ended up back at another fast and testimony meeting at our church, and found the bishop and picked up the missionaries and went through the lessons and were baptized. So I'm almost 13. And then the next summer, so for that whole year, I'm super active and doing everything right. The next summer, my stepdad's killed in an airplane accident, and so, which was a tough break for a young man who's, being a teenager is hard, and it was even harder when you lose someone that was raising you and someone that was just so amazing in a very important part of your life. So I got mad, and I was not just mad at Mark for dying. I wasn't mad at my mom or my dad. I was mad at God more than anything. And I'm embarrassed to say that today because that's sad. I believe Mark was here for a reason, and that was for me, to raise me for this period of time that I had him in my life, and then he was taken for the reason that God wanted him, and that was because his time on earth was done. Fortunately, my sons and I were able to do his work in the temple, which is awesome, and so I'm jacked about that. So I stopped doing everything right. I started doing things wrong. The next year, I went back trying to figure it out again. So I moved to my dad's house, who was actively going to church, and I've never lived with him, minus when I was a little kid. And I started going to church again. I started playing football. So my routine every day was I was going to seminary, I'd go to school, play football, work out, eat, homework, sleep, and that was it. After football season, I started playing basketball, and I got hurt, and I stopped going to the gym. So that Friday night, I went to a party and started drinking. So this is the first time I've drank large amounts of alcohol. And a little bit into that, I go to the restroom, and they're in there smoking weed. And so I went and tried that out, and I realized, well, that was more fun than alcohol. So the next night, I went straight to the weed, skipped the alcohol, and same thing, a couple hours into the party, I go to the restroom, and they're in there doing very hard drugs. So, and I tried it, and I went from 235 pounds, pretty big kid, to 145 pounds in 3 months. I threw everything away. I didn't care about anything but getting stoned or high. And this lasted for a year and a half. Making horrible choices. I was high the entire time. I was sick. I was gross, disgusting looking. And really making horrible choices. So that was freshman year and half of my freshman year and my sophomore year of high school. My junior year, I met my wife, and she was different than any other girl I had ever dated or talked to or anything with, and I felt that she was different from day one. In fact, I was stoned the day I met her or first talked to her, and we started flirting with each other and went to a football game together, and it was just different because I wasn't having to do drugs to be with her and be happy. I was happy just being with her. And so we started dating pretty quickly, and then I started freaking out because it wasn't the normal for me. It was because it was good. It wasn't toxic. And so we stopped dating for about a month after dating a couple months, and then thankfully she took me back, and we've been together since. So when I met her, I was kind of a weekend warrior with the partying, and right away, I'm one of probably one out of probably 100 million people who have walked away from drugs without rehab, treatment, AA meetings, or anything of that nature. I am so lucky that God needed me, for whatever reason this is, to be a husband, to be a father, to be a grandpa. Because I shouldn't be here. I should be dead 100 times over. I was mixing drugs you should not mix, ever. But I made it, and here I am, 27 years sober. And I'm so thankful for my sobriety. I'm thankful for my wife. I'm thankful for my God. I'm thankful for my relationship with my Heavenly Father. He has saved me, and He's been with me the whole time. So probably my biggest defining moment is when I met my wife, and she helped get me on the right track. And it wasn't by her nudging me or anything. It was her being different. She was raised in the church. She had a very strong testimony from day one, and she's worn her testimony on her sleeve the entire time. She snaps me in line every time I get out of line. In fact, I'm almost 15 years sober from alcohol. So after Mandy and I started dating, we were married. We went through the normal routine of making bad choices, and I never went back to drugs, but we were drinking. And we got cleaned up and paying tithing, doing everything right, being active in church, and we got our temple recommends, and we just celebrated our 22nd temple anniversary just last week. But through choices and life happening, we ended up kind of not being as active in the church as we should have been. And then 15 years ago, through my horrible choices, it helped me, with her help, to get realigned, and we've been active since. I have made a commitment to myself for her, my wife, to never walk around without a temple recommend in my wallet, and I've been true to that this entire time for 15 years, which is I'm super jacked about. I have, because I had mentioned that I never went through any formal rehabilitation or anything of that nature, we went, and one of my kids was having troubles, and he was court ordered to go to AA type meetings. We found the one that the church had put on, and so we actively went with him to support him during that time, and I fell in love with the program. I went to President Smith and begged him to get the program active in our ward and our stake, and I wasn't expecting to be called to serve in that capacity, but he did, and I had a great partner with that, and we were my partner and I were the group leaders for the addiction recovery program, and I learned not only so much about myself, but I've learned a lot of compassion for other people who have struggles, no matter what they are. I help people in that program that were struggling with pornography, with alcohol, drugs, sex, shopping or overspending. We had caffeine addicts. We had everything under the sun. And it was just an incredible program to be part of, and I am a huge fan of it. I share my story with everybody. I'm not embarrassed of my life. And I want anybody that needs help to go get help, because those programs are really important, and they will help you if you work the program. I am so proud of myself. There's not many people that have come out of what I went through and am where I'm at today. I've got an amazing family. I have a strong testimony. I'm just all in. Last Sunday I didn't want to go to church because I had a really horrible morning. And Mandy and I still got showered and went to church. It's not an option anymore. We go. We try to go to the temple twice a month. It used to be just her and I once a month that would go, and then we invite another group of friends to go the next time for the second time of the month. And now it seems like we just invite everybody every time. When the temple was closed from stupid COVID, I missed that in my life so much, and I felt the lack of being in the temple. And I'm so grateful that they opened them back up and we're able to go and serve again. I have some of my most incredible memories and moments have been in the temple. And I'm so just grateful I get to share that with my wife. So my defining moment with my wife and her helping me to, I guess, relearn that I needed to maintain a good, strong, healthy relationship with my Heavenly Father is how she carries the light of Christ in her at all times and all places. She has been the best example for me of pure Christ-like love, and has taught me so much about love and so much about yearning for a relationship with my Heavenly Father, to have faith in Heavenly Father, to trust in Heavenly Father, to rely on Him for everything, to just have faith and be committed. And she has been, there's no one else that has the love of her Heavenly Father than my wife does, and she's taught me and shared with me on how to do that, to grow my relationship with Him. We were taught when we were kids getting married, we had a bishop that explained to us the relationship between, and I'll never forget this, the relationship between Heavenly Father, my wife, and myself is a triangle. And the closer that we are together, the easier or the better life will be. And that's what I have strived for 2.5 decades now, is to be as close as I can to Mandy and as close as I can to Christ and Heavenly Father. And yes, we did stray, but we're back and we're not going anywhere now. We are fully committed. We're all in. We are truly dedicated to it. We hope we're being great examples to our kids, and to our neighbors and to our friends that are in our area. And we just try to be good people and try to be nice and loving towards everyone. I get made fun of for my hugs all the time, but I don't even care because I give the best hugs. But I really want people to know and to feel that they've got someone that loves them. And poke fun at me all you want, but you're getting a hug, because I just want you to feel like that you got someone that loves you.